Ahojte, ahojte, vítam vás komenčne v ďalšej časti na hru Call of Juarez Gunslinger. Pokračujeme tentoraz s Bratovi Daltnoví.
One of my friends was a local gunsmith, and he handed out firearms to anybody who'd take one. You see, the Daltons got it in their heads to rob two banks at the same time. Two banks on the same damn street. Story was Bob Dalton's girl was always writing about how he had no ambition. Well, the locals recognized the Daltons right off. Before they could get away, half the town took up arms to defend their property. Their first mistake was pulling a job in their own damn hometown.
What's the holes in them?
The brothers paid dearly for their stupidity, but everybody knows they had it coming.
There's more to it than that. I read all about that day, so I know for a fact that it went down very differently. First of all, it was high noon. A posse of U.S. deputy marshals were on the rooftop across the street.
Get ready, boys. They're gonna make a move.
The lawmen had been tracking the Daltons for months. Now they finally had them dead to rights. Among them was a bounty hunter feared by many a lawbreaker. The marshals tried to get the Daltons to surrender.
They'll give up eventually. You just gotta wait the son of a bitches out.
This bounty hunter knew that the brothers were far too proud to ever lay down their guns. He went in there alone to confront those criminals. One of the marshals shouted, "Where are you going? Are you crazy?"
Hey, where do you think you're going, dumbass? That rifle's mine.
But he paid him no mind. He saw a way to get around to the back of the bank. Then he figured out how to hit the Daltons from a direction they weren't expecting. From above. Fortunately, a water tower was right there. A moment later, he was climbing up a steep ladder, laughing at danger as he did. It was brave men like him who risked their lives to tame this wild country.
We've got company.
Heroic men like him, who did what other men couldn't or wouldn't to make this country free. Like Jim Bowie and Davy Crockett,
Is that Silas
who
Greaves?
died defending the
Son
island.
of a bitch! Did that asshole just kill Red? I'm just getting started.
Nice.
Over there! That's Silas Greaves! What the hell?
Blam! He came away victorious, taking down those thieving Daltons.
To dúfam. Čo to je ešte? Shotgun ma až tak nezaujíma.
His name?
Paráda.
Silas Greaves. And when the dust finally settled, he was the last man standing.
Sorry, kid, but that just wasn't the way it happened.
O bože, to tam budem 3-krát.
It was early evening, not high noon. The Daltons blew up a safe, and were all set to hightail it out of there. I was late to the party, and Coffeyville was already up in arms. Those pathetic deputies surrounding the bank were dropping like flies.
Wow.
I'd been tracking those jokers for months, waiting for them to do something reckless. Finally, they did. Those stupid bastards decided to rob 2 banks at the same time in the same town where everybody knew them. But they still had friends in Coffeyville. Those friends came after me like a pack of wild dogs, tooth and nail. They were coming at me from all directions. I caught sight of the Daltons running with the money and didn't want to lose them. Problem was, they knew the town better than I did. And to top it off, I found myself in the middle of another shootout entirely.
Did the Daltons hole up in somebody's house?
No, it was the Smiths, I believe. They were cousins of the Daltons. And they were shooting at the Browns, who were shooting at the Daltons. Which wasn't any surprise, because those 2 families have been feuding forever. And since the Joneses are related to the Browns, they shot at the Smiths, pissing off the Heimhoffers, whose daughter recently married a Smith. Well, bullets were flying every which way as all the old feuds in Kansas caught fire all at once. There was a hell of a lot of pissed off people in Coffeyville that day. But that's just the way life is sometimes. Shit happens.
No gdzie nigdzie. Hledám. Hledám a nevidím ho. Jo. Tady mám všetky. Není možné.
The Dalton boys knew I would never give up. Those Daltons weren't the sharpest knives in the drawer, but they always stood together. They set a trap to slow me down and allow at least 2 of them to escape. The 3rd brother stayed behind to plant me, just in case that trap of theirs didn't work.
No to skutočne vyšlo.
It was Emmett, the youngest, and he decided to stand his ground and face me down.
I ain't afraid of you, Silas Reeves. This is where it ends for you.
He was determined to protect his brothers. I understood how he felt. Taking me on all by his lonesome wasn't exactly a recipe for a long life.
I'm gonna plant you where you stand. Is that all you got? You ain't...
But Emmett Dalton survived the robbery in Coffeyville. He's the only Dalton who did.
They say he was shot 23 times.
Well, Dwight, who do you think put all those damn holes in him?
No to teda. Kurník.
But I have to admit, that boy had grit.
Zvyšuje sa mi moja presnosť, to sa mi páči. Tak môžeme pokračovať.
We'll get those suckers! It took me a couple of days to track the Daltons down.
They can't get away with this!
And in that time, a whole posse of local vigilantes offered to lend a hand.
We'll track them to the ends of the earth.
Zaplavenom
They seemed as
meste.
determined as me to find those outlaws. But as we headed into those swamps, it was like I had my own private army. There was no way those boys were getting away this time.
It was early fall, right? Beautiful time of year. At least you had the weather on your side.
Plus
Not
minus.
by my
A je to
recollection.
fakt pekné.
It was damp and foggy as hell. It was tough to stay on a true course, so we kept an eye out for landmarks.
Pôjdem správne zatiaľ. Tak budeš si kryť. Obajne.
It was autumn. The maple trees were in full color, red as blood.
My God. Sopaň si lakol.
The rains that year were torrential, so the whole area was flooded. The vigilantes had spread out wide, and pretty soon I couldn't see anybody.
Dobre, asi určite taďal.
Where they stand! Except for some bitches ahead of me wanting to do me harm, so I had to face them alone. I wondered why my compatriots didn't come running when they heard the shots.
No,
So did you find the Daltons?
Not yet, but I did have the questionable pleasure of meeting a few of their friends. The boys had established quite a reputation by that time, so they attracted all manner of riffraff to their cause.
OK, vymeníme, uvidíme. Au. Bolo tam niečo, čo som si nevšimol? To mi hodili granádom.
Point being, I was under serious attack.
Aha, to je nejaký shotgun, ne? Kto to ma tak rozbil?
And my reinforcements was nowhere to be seen.
Good luck. Tak.
But luckily, a barn materialized as if right before my eyes. I scrambled up top to get a better view. But just ended up falling inside.
So, how did you get out?
The barn doors was open. About right then, I saw some suspicious characters running for the bushes. Of course, I followed them. But that goddamn swamp was like a goddamn maze, and pretty soon I had no goddamn idea where I was. Steve?
Aha, Steve zaspal.
So I just started walking, and pretty soon
Oh,
Steve? Steve?
huh? Oh,
By som mohol aj
no,
zabudiť, lebo
no,
jeho
no,
chrápanie
I'm
mi tu
listening.
teda trošku vadí.
Indians surrounded me from all sides.
Čože?
I just wanted to make sure Steve was paying attention. Now, where was I?
You were following the Daltons through a swamp?
That's right. See, Steve? Dwight's paying attention.
No, I'm listening. I was just resting my eyes.
So, where was I?
Jsem dostal body. Nice. Čo tu máme? Fast aiming.
The Daltons.
Right. See, there's a reason so many outlaw gangs are made up of brothers. Being a brother is a very sacred thing. It's a bond like no other.
Bounty hunter, stop that son of a bitch! So did you ever find the damn Daltons?
Not yet, but I did find a few of their cousins. Kansans breed like rabbits. More Smiths or Heimhoffers or who knows what. But hell, what's more important than family? I'll bet Ben knows what I'm talking about.
Kill that son of a bitch!
Dobrý.
Waste your bullets. Go ahead. What are you gonna do? Yeah.
Bank jedno. To som si skutočne nevšimol.
Those Dalton boys were out there somewhere, standing together against anyone who would threaten them.
Nie, dobre vôbec. Neviem, zabil som už dosť.
And that's when I saw it. A goddamn steamboat.
A steamboat in a swamp?
Yeah, Steve, but this wasn't much more than a wreck, really.
But how'd a damn steamboat end up in the swamps? Guess it floated off during the flood of '89.
Now, was it a stern wheeler or a side wheeler?
What? Does that really make a difference, Steve? It was a steamboat with a goddamn army on board. It was in that a fusillade of bullets come raining down from our side. Those vigilantes who accompanied me weren't anywhere to be found. But among those men that were shooting at me, I thought I saw some familiar faces.
Tak toto za nečekania.
Somewhere up there, the Daltons were waiting on me.
Hide, you little liver son of a bitch! I can kill you with either hand!
Sounds like you don't give up too easy.
That's the kind of man I am, Ben. I set out to do something. I do it. Surrender just ain't in my nature. Plus, I'm stubborn as hell.
Just made it. Tento secret mi to dával. Nebude také jednoduché. Mám ich hore, alebo byť dole? Človek nevie.
Right about
Toto je
then,
náš.
much to my relief, the vigilantes finally arrived. Their leader motioned at a cabin in the middle of the top deck, pointing me directly at the Daltons. I finally had them. After months of dogged pursuit. But it turned out that they had me.
Take him out! I'm sending you to
Čo?
hell!
Nebol so mnou.
The Daltons had played me
Not
like
so
a
tough after
fiddle.
all, is it?
Apparently, the vigilantes were on their damn payroll. They didn't just want to shoot me. They wanted to burn me alive. But finding my way out of a burning labyrinth proved to be quite a challenge.
It was a riverboat, right? I mean, it's not like it was a goddamn ocean liner.
Well, yeah, but I was in the
Did you
fight.
hear about that ship that's gonna launch next year? Largest one in the world.
We're
Well,
talking about the Titanic. If you ask me, it's too placid too. I don't think we're even
so anyway,
Don't be stupid, Steve. They know what they're doing. They say that the Titanic is unsinkable.
oh God.
But getting back to that
Bratia.
steamboat, how'd you get off it, Mr. Greaves?
I took in a lot of smoke that day, so I admit my recollection might be a bit hazy. But somehow I managed to finally disembark. It was time to settle this once and for all. Weren't about to come at me one at a time. They were in this together. Two brothers side by side, determined to take me down. Confident that this time the odds were on their side.
Som sa ešte uhnúť. To jednou som dal, ale tak si dvoch naraz.
They got it wrong.
Dobrý.
A sad end for those two. If they'd only known that Emmett was still alive despite his wounds. Paroled 14 years later, He moved to California and sold real estate and lived off the legend of that fateful day. And the tragic death of his two brothers.
Nice, tak to bolo dobré, fajn. Dámy a páni, že ste by to bolo všetko, dúfam, že sa vám páčilo, nechajte nejak ten like, nejaký ten koment, nejak ten odber. A my sa uvidíme u ďalšej časti, kde budeme pokračovať. Zatiaľ, čaute, čaute.